Hello, and welcome to Learn to Live with Sports Talk, the sports opinionated show for the everyday sports fan by an everyday sports fan. I'm your host, Stephen Lerner. So, the NFL season is in full gear. We are weeks into the NFL season. This is probably week 7 into the season right now. And man, what can I say? It's been pretty interesting. It's been pretty competitive. But what am I here for? Whew. The NFL needs to learn to live with it. And you want to know why I'm saying that? You, as an organization, need to watch out for the injuries that are happening across the league. In 1 week, last week, in 1 week, the NFL lost 2 of their big stars. 2 stars that they promote. And one of them is my guy, Odell Beckham Jr. That's it. Gone for the year. Done. Fractured ankle or fibula, whatever it was. And later on that evening, J.J. Watt. Probably the best defender in all of the NFL. And Odell Beckham, one of the top wide receivers in all of the NFL. And the NFL promotes these players nonstop. How many times do you sit down, watch your TV and commercials, and you see an Odell Beckham commercial, or you see a J.J. Watt commercial? And especially lately with J.J. Watt, promoting to get relief help for Houston and the hurricane that hit them. He was all over the place, all over TV, and getting help, and which helped the NFL. You got even more eyes on the NFL. But the NFL needs to figure out a way to kind of reduce these injuries. They got a big issue with the concussions and the CTE and the concussion lawsuit that's still going on. And more people are learning how devastating the CTE is and learning how devastating a concussion can be to an NFL player. And that's a big deal for the NFL. But these injuries are a big deal too. You're losing star players, not only for the team, but for the whole league. These are players that not only their team fans know, like the New York Giants or the Houston Texans, but the whole country knows who these players are. And you know what? Places around the world know who Odell Beckham and J.J. Watt are. I'm sure I'm missing other players throughout the season that have gotten hurt and are out for the year or out for a long amounts of time, missing many weeks and missing many games. They need to figure out a way to reduce these injuries, because losing these star players is going to reduce ratings that have actually been going down the last few years. What are you going to do with the ratings? A lot of people are... Yes, NFL might be the number 1 sport right now in America, but basketball might be right up there with you guys, if not right behind. But the ratings are going down. Yes, there's so many different ways for viewers to watch the NFL, and maybe the NFL and viewership numbers haven't caught up to how to count people watching, on different devices, different streaming services. But no matter what, people are saying the ratings are going down. That means organization, teams, players, well, not yet, but eventually going to be losing money. And sure, the NFL, the owners, the players, they don't want to be losing money. Nobody wants to be losing money. So the NFL needs to figure out and learn to live with it in how to deal with these injuries and how to prevent star players injuring themselves so much or losing so many star players. Sure, maybe 1 or 2, but it's been, a lot in the last few years. Who knows? It could be that the lack of practices recently in the last few years could be the effect of this. Maybe the bodies aren't used to getting the pounding and the hitting that they were in the past. So it's getting, they're getting injured more frequently. I know the NFL is trying to reduce the pounding on the players and reduce the impact of the hits and everything like that. But maybe the body needs this extra practice to get used to it, and get stronger from the impact. Who knows? The NFL football is a very tough sport, and on your body, it's like going to war, and it takes a toll on your body. A lot of players, when they retire a few years later, they feel the aches and pains of their career in the NFL. People's fingers aren't the same after their NFL career. Broken fingers and broken toes, feet, backaches. Who knows? The NFL is a rough sport, and I know that they're trying to make it less rough, which I don't know if making it less rough is going to help. Is it going to help with injuries? Possibly, but less practice. Your body doesn't get used to the hits and turns and everything else that the body needs to maybe get used to. The less physicality taken out of the game might be less fun to watch for the fans too. I think the NFL is in between a rock and a hard place right now with what they can do to keep their players safe, keep their star players safe, keep the fans interested, make it less rough so there's not as many injuries, make it less rough so there's not many concussions and CTE issues. What are you going to do? It's going to be tough to do that in such a rough and physical sport. Good luck to the NFL. At this rate, I don't know if they can handle losing star players year in, year out, and constantly trying to change the rules to make it less physical and less rough. And hopefully they can, but we'll see what happens. Viewership might continue going down. Are we going to have the NFL in 10, 15, 20 years? I guess we'll have to see. But right now, the NFL needs to figure out a way and to move on and figure out a way to prevent these injuries. Like Odell Beckham's a big star. J.J. Watt's a big star. Other players I don't remember, but Houston lost another big rusher in the same game, so that's two big players for that team itself, for the Houston Texans. So how many viewers are you going to lose in Houston? The New York Giants. Let me not get with the New York Giants this season in the NFL, but in that one game where they lost Odell Beckham Jr., they lost 3 other receivers. In total, in one game, the New York Giants lost 4 wide receivers. 3 of them are out for the season. That's a big impact to the team. That means a big impact to fans watching, big impact to viewership, big impact to NFL and owners and players making money. Figure out what to do and go from there. All right, guys, as I always say, it's a sport, so no matter what happens, we all have to learn to live with it. If you like this video and this channel, please subscribe, like, comment, share, and tell everybody else about it. Come back and enjoy the next video or watch one of the previous videos. Thank you all for enjoying Learn to Live with It Sports Talk.